Let's see what we got here. Do. Little dance going on. Little dancey dance. See if YouTube is picking this up, making sure our audio is all connected. I see audio. That's good. It does appear that we've got a solid connection. I always have to check. It's a responsible thing to do, which is weird because I don't feel like I'm always all that responsible. But YouTube is live, and I'm going to be checking out to see. Hey there. See, I see the messages sometimes, but it's only when I'm looking directly at the studio. If I'm not looking directly at the studio, I don't see the messages, which is why if you want to talk with me, I'm over in Discord. Greetings, everybody. I'm just going to make sure that CouchBot has fired so that we can have the train leaving the station. Got some work to review this morning. Some of it is work that we've seen, and I gotta really give credit. I love it when people are making full use of feedback loop, getting that daily grind, and Bren's totally in that. Bren, if you follow the channel at all, you see a lot of Bren's work. Bren's in here every single day, pretty much constantly. And so I just love seeing that. I think that's how you get the most out of your educational experience here. And good news, CouchBot has fired. Although CouchBot's changed something or YouTube has changed something, and I'm not sure which. But we will. That's neither here nor there because we are here to review student work. And I'm just going to rearrange my windows for a second so I can see everything. Okay, there we go. We've got that. Okay. Yeah, I think we can do this. So, let's go ahead and get this started. Greetings, one and all. Chris Courtney here, NewPragmatic. Time for the feedback loop. So good to have you back here. We are live this morning, and we've got some. We're going to compress it down. We had some morning meetings that we needed to attend to, so we're circling back to the loop this morning. And we've got Abby, we've got Bryn, and we've got Abraham in here. Abby and Bryn have some work to review. Abraham's got more of a question, and I want to go ahead and start over here with Abraham. I'm just going to pull Abraham's question up really fast. So Abraham was asking about portfolio, and he's basically doing what everybody should be doing. He's got about 10 months of work that he needs to now figure out, okay, how do I get this into my portfolio? And this is an interesting problem that a lot of people have with regard to that first update of the portfolio. So you've been working for a while, but now you're in a situation where you're not really sure, okay, does everything from one employer go into the portfolio as like one case study? Do I break it up into a number of case studies? And what I would say is that there's two divergent paths that you can go. One is you should definitely break up your projects into distinct projects from the employer. Like instead of saying this is all my work for YouTube, okay, that's just an example. Like if you worked at YouTube, you wouldn't put all your work from YouTube under one banner, but you would say, okay, well here is, and you've got 3 projects listed here, and one of them is you've identified as, hey, this is pretty large, this is a medium one, this is a small one. I would say that what it really comes down for me is what did you learn from the project? And I wouldn't necessarily equate a huge project as being the most important thing in your portfolio. The most important thing in your portfolio is the projects that you grew from, and that the projects that allowed you to stretch and push in new directions. I would say a fast follow to that would be the projects that are just pristine work, like you did a lot of great work on that project. I wouldn't necessarily put projects in a portfolio or add projects that were just kind of like, this is fast, unless you are trying to apply for a very specific type of job, and those projects align. So I think there's some I wouldn't just blindly put everything in. I would focus on, okay, first I'm going to put the project in that I feel like I grew the most from, and I can express that. So identify that and get that one in, and then follow that up with work that's focused on specific projects. Okay, but focus on what's the most important project. Like if I only had to do one, which one would it be, and do that one first. Okay, but I would definitely break up the one employer into multiple projects, and then obviously if you need to edit some of your old projects out, look into doing that as well. Let's go ahead and share my screen so I can head on in here. So we've got it's interesting because Abby submitted, so she's got kind of a wireframey thing here with regard to her case study, her about page, and Abby, I'm not really sure that these do a ton. I first of all, I wouldn't go centered on that much text, and this is like big photo across the top, big photo across the top. What is the photo is always going to be my question. Photo on the side, what is the photo is again going to be my question. I would consider some sort of combination with these elements together, but the thing I want to look at more is this a day in my life element, and I want to come back over to your draft, because so you've kind of taken this and said, okay, I'm gonna parse this out, who, what, when, where, why, and there's a story here about, very early on, you decided you were going to go into information design. Like that information design was what you were going to do, and you've known this since high school when you've worked on the school yearbook. Like that puts it back. And what I love about that is it says, hey, I didn't come to this. I'm not somebody that just discovered this. I've been doing this since high school. I'm a professional now. I've been doing this for a few years. I am an information designer. I did it through college. I've got a degree in that. So it's like this is a big story here. It's like high school yearbook to college degree to working at the Tribune, and now you're working regionally, and now you're pivoting. You're like, okay, I've done a lot in information design in a printed format. Now I'm just moving into a new way to distribute that digitally. I think that there's a lot here. Sorry, gotta, I guess, hit the OK there. I think there's a lot here to work with. There's a lot of background. There's a story to tell. So I feel really good about that you have. I just think you need to expand on it. And the question is, okay, why are you making that transition? And this is clearly where I think you probably need more work in terms of determining what the why is. But as far as the story that gets you to there, I think is very compelling. And it does a good job of setting you up to say, hey, I'm not a designer looking for my first gig. Okay, I've had my first gig. I've been doing this for a while. And that's what we need this to establish. Now, the day in the life section, yoga, bun on top of the head, snacks, earphones, paint by numbers, places to travel. That's fine. It doesn't do a ton for me. It very much feels kind of like the walks on the beach sort of thing that people always put on. Here are the things that I enjoy, and that's fine. I'm not, but I wouldn't make that like the thrust of your about page, which is why I'm glad it's a secondary thing. I might even truncate it down a little more, um, and not give it a huge section on the about page. And then the random notes, it looks like these are pretty much related to the day in the life thing. Again, I might simplify this. I definitely think you've got a story to tell here that is beneficial. So focus here, use this for flavor, and then move forward. But I do go back to your image, and I go, okay, so what are we showing here? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be like a scenery shot? Like, what is that? And once we figure that out, then we can determine direction on the actual design. But I would definitely take this and get it into that third draft. All right, so moving along, let's go back over here to Bryn, and Bryn, you know, I'm gonna hide some of this stuff here so I can actually see the page. I see that you've updated a couple things. One, this feels a lot more functional. So if I click on that shop by department and this comes down, and then I've got some you know, I've got some accordions to choose from. I don't think people are going to get lost here. It feels very, very logical. So I think that this is probably going to function pretty well for you. Let's take a look here. So I can, it's interesting. I can add to cart, but I've got the plus minus here. So I'm not sure, like, is this, if I click add to cart, does it, if I click plus, does this change to 1 or 2 or 3? And like, where's the counter at for where's the thing that tells me what I'm counting? Because I see 82 cents each, and that's $1.51 a pound. Like, again, I just want to know how this is going to function. I see the summary flip here. That makes sense. You know, from a column structure, I would still, you know, I'm still looking to, like, make these things align. Like right now, and I think some of this is, like, you're struggling with auto layout. I see things have gotten auto layout assigned to them, and it's like you're struggling to line that up. That's something I think we can take some time and work on. But I think the overall flip of this, and again, we're just in wireframe mode, so I'm not super concerned right now. I really want to test the idea of how this is functioning and flowing. You got a confirmation here, and let's keep looking at this because I know there's more going on here. Sure you want to, okay, so these are like modals. This is status, so this is like, okay, so this subscription's on or off. I'm guessing that if I hit edit, I'm going to come to some sort of screen. Yeah, okay, so here's edit order. And this is interesting because if I'm editing the order, if I'm editing the order, don't I need to see the order? During edit order, do I need to see, because this is like the confirm summary page. Should edit order be like all the items that I've ordered with maybe a summary off to the side? Or maybe this, you know, this is one column, but because there's other areas on this that you have that, specifically like here, this is the cart. So and this also has like a XXX, so like I can cancel those things out, and this is 5 items or less. 5 items or less. New user. So it looks like there's a thought of going further, and we kind of talked about this yesterday, but I don't see the follow through on it. But I can sense that you're heading in that direction just by the way that you're naming this. Yeah, the other thing I would really look at is, and I just want to hop in here to components real fast. So this is cart list. So this isn't really a component yet. So it looks like you've just kind of added auto layout and you've got some things going on. This is something that I definitely think will come together, and we'll work on spacing, and you can talk to Abby and Katie, and I'm gonna like drill down on that. But I also know from your other work, like you can like really turn out some high quality designs. So I'm not concerned about the spacing yet, but we will get into that soon. But right now, I think the overall the drop down, this is going to work a little better. Although I would still encourage you to test those other ideas. I don't want to like say just throw everything away. We want to test those things. We don't just want to go, I think this will work, or I think this won't work, and then begin making our decisions that way. Testing that like thin drop down would be ideal. And yeah, I think overall the other tweaks that have been made are good. Let's turn this back on real fast and take a look at the prototype. Okay, so you're at a spot where you can begin doing the spaghetti noodles. Like, ooh, this page goes to that thing, and you're at a spot where you can begin doing that. So I would look at noodling this up and really getting it to where you can go, okay, I'm going to test this flow, and then we can begin testing the flow. And I really think that once you've tested it and you've said, okay, I can, this function can be performed, then we can start going in and saying, okay, let's clean all this up. Okay? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See? Fairly painless edition of the feedback loop. So, Bren, Abby, Abraham, thank you for your work and your questions. It's always super helpful for really everybody involved to see this work in progress. I'm going to be seeing many of you later today. Ricardo is like up next, like 2 minutes from now. But for the rest of you, if you're not already on the calendar, get on the calendar. And if you're watching this, you don't currently have a mentor, but you're getting into design, you found this useful, hey, click the subscribe button, hit that like. But if you're looking for mentorship, listen to my friends. All right, I'll see you folks later.